Tonight, another cover-up is rocking the Obama White House, this time regarding the 2012 Secret Service prostitution scandal in Colombia. Now, the Washington Post is reporting that the White House aides knew that a member of the presidential advance team had a prostitute in his hotel room ahead of a summit that was attended by President Obama. But despite the fact that the information was given to the White House in the weeks following the scandal, and nearly 24 Secret Service agents and military members were punished, while the White House repeatedly claimed that no one from its team was involved in any misconduct. Now, take a look at then White House Press Secretary Jay Carney completely denying it during a presser in April of 2012. Take a look.
There have been no specific, credible allegations of misconduct by anyone on the White House advance team or the White House staff. Nevertheless, out of due diligence, the White House counsel's office has conducted a review of the White House advance team, and in concluding that review came to the conclusion that there's no indication that any member of the White House advance team engaged in any improper or conduct or behavior.
Now, that's not all. The Washington Post is also reporting that the lead investigator in this scandal felt pressured by the acting DHS Inspector General, Charles K. Edwards, to cover up this mess. Now, the investigator allegedly told Senate staffers, quote, "We were directed at the time to delay the report of the investigation until after the 2012 election." Pretty unbelievable, but should anybody be surprised? My next guest is urging the White House to come clean about the scandal. Utah Congressman Jason Chaffetz is with us. Well, first of all, it sounds like there's a lot of cover-up going on. Benghazi, spontaneous demonstration, YouTube video. All of this is to help a president get elected. So at the heart of this, there's a big cover-up to help an election and influence an election. Is that not the motive?
Well, again, that's not coming from some, Republican congressman from Utah. This is coming from whistleblowers, people whose job it is to go in and find this. We have it from multiple people. You have it from the Inspector General's office. The Washington Post didn't put this, front page above the fold because this is an old story, as the White House wants you to believe. There are very credible sources, multiple sources, are making these allegations. They're serious, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. But we've seen this movie before,
We've seen the movie before, and I'm going to get to that in just a second here. But I want to go through this because I think this is very important. We were directed at the time to delay the report of the investigation till after 2012 and the election. David Nealon, the lead investigator on this Columbia case for the DHS Inspector General's office, told Senate staffers, and I know you're aware of this as well, and he also added that his superior said to withhold and alter certain information in the report of the investigation because it would be embarrassing to the administration. So not only withhold it, but alter it, and then these guys were punished. Explain the timeline of this. Because they investigated, they had a report, then they were told to change it, then they were suspended.
And there's three of them. I find it more than a coincidence that you have the Inspector General's office, which really has the authority to go into the agency, look under the hood, talk to anybody they want to. Three people, were put on suspension there, pretty much simultaneous to them criticizing the White House and questioning, why aren't we putting this information in there? We have hotel records, we have details, we have talked to people, we have been on the scene. Why wasn't that information in there? And then to hear Jay Carney in the White House say there was no credible information, there was no information. Sean, that's just absolutely not true. And again, why I think the Washington Post puts it on page 1 above the fold. There are a lot of smoke here, and we're going to get to the bottom of it.
All right, so what would the crime be here? Obstruction of justice, and obviously the corruption of the Inspector General process, right? Isn't that a big deal? Isn't that a big crime?
Oh, it's a huge issue. Mr. Edwards, who was the Inspector General, who supposedly, alleged